Byan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Byan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature. Learn, grow, and take charge of your retirement. This is the Wealth Through Wisdom podcast with financial advisor Byan Gaiser, founder of Gaiser Financial Group.
The stress that is the holidays of trying to, within the time frame that we're all facing.
Once again, the more organized you are, the less stress it is.
It's swear,
just that simple.
I try to be organized, and it's every year something else.
You're going to get off track.
It's life.
You're going to get off track.
Life is what happens while you're making plans.
You need everybody.
This is why you have a job, because life doesn't stop when you're in retirement. All the unexpected things come along with it. So while you're managing the hustle and bustle, and maybe also because something else that comes up for me every year at this time of year is the amount of money that gets spent, and I just get so stressed out about it. So you think to yourself, you know what? Once I get through this holiday season, that's it. January 1st, it's go time. We are going to see somebody. We've got to figure our financial setup. I want to make sure that in the years ahead, we can spend what we want to spend at the holidays or any time of year. So, Bryan, there was a survey done by the Motley Fool, found that 69% of Americans are going to make a financial New Year's resolution. And some of you listening to us on PTI, you might be saying 2026, I'm going to see that financial advisor, as I was just pointing out. What would you say to somebody who has the assets, who has the savings, but is starting a retirement plan from scratch, as so many do, because a 401k is not a retirement plan.
It's not a retirement plan, it's a retirement savings account.
But people get confused. How often do you see that? When people come to meet you first time and you say, then they say, well, we've got a plan. Oh, let me see it. And they just hand you some 401k statements. A lot of people think that's what they need. And statements
are important. It's part of
it.
The engine. There's an engine there. Mm-hmm. The most important thing, when we talk about this pretty regularly, and that's that why. Make sure you know what you want your retirement to look like.
Yeah.
If you're 5 years from it, 10 years from it, whatever it may be, what are you doing to make sure those things happen? One, make sure you take care of your health, but really important, which is really important, obviously, but some other things that are necessary too, is we want to make sure, let's make sure you have a budget.
Okay.
Then you make sure, what are your taxes going to look like in retirement? Have you ever ran them? That's what we do. In that first appointment, we sit there, we run what their taxes will look like in retirement. Of course, it has a little margin of error in there, but it's really, really close. It'll be excitingly, surprisingly good for the majority of the people that come in.
Okay.
Thought that they would be paying a whole lot more in taxes in retirement than they do, but they got to remember, you're no longer paying what? You're no longer paying employment taxes if it's just interest and you're drawing off your 401k. You don't pay employment taxes on Social Security. You don't pay employment taxes on pensions, things of that nature, right? You don't pay state taxes on Social Security. So when folks come in, they have their statements for Social Security. They have their statements for their 401k. They let me know if they're going to have a pension. Do they have rental property? So it's kind of just gathering your financial your house, if you will.
Yeah.
And let's gather all the things out of your financial world and see, how do they work together to help you achieve your why, what your retirement's about. Mm-hmm. And what is that going to cost in the future if you haven't retired and you're 5-10 years away, or if you're in retirement? What shifts do I need to make in order to do the right thing? Let's lower my tax burden. If I drew money from over here and my 401k, hey, maybe I have a lower tax bill. All of these kind of variables come into play. Another thing a lot of people get worried about when it comes to retirement, when they come in, they don't think about, is this right here. And folks, listen to me closely. if you have dividend paying stock or dividend paying exchange traded funds, which is really, to me, I think should be a part of everybody's retirement. Well, if you've stopped working, you can't contribute to your 401k, your Roth IRAs, your Roth and what have you, right? Can't contribute anymore, but your dividends can. And that's additional yield over and above the price of the stock or price of the ETF that's growing on a regular basis. So it's continuously buying back in. The name of the game when you retire, and even today, how many shares do I own? How many shares do I own? It's all about the shares. Yeah, it's going to go up and down. Did it go down today? It's not that important. Let's say the market pulls back 15, 20%, and it will at some point. Not to be a bearer of bad news. It's really not bad news because now you got deals on the table. What it also does is open up an opportunity for a Roth conversion potentially.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Let's do some Roth conversions, but then we got to think about our Medicare, if we're on Medicare, to make sure we don't pump ourselves into a new tax bracket, right?
Right.
So that they start taking for a couple of years on it. So there's so many moving parts. That's why when you come in, statements, what are your last year's taxes, things of that nature, have a general budget, those kind of things. As long as we know those different accounts and we know, kind of look at your taxes, what do they look like today, what are they going to look like in retirement, then you can better plan so that you can have the type of retirement you want.
Okay.
But most people, what you can expect is in about an hour and a half, I'm not going to just talk about your money. I'm going to talk about what's your purpose in retirement. What do you want it to look like? Do you have a budget? And I'm going to talk about the steps you need to take in order to make that happen. Not just, we just manage money. I don't know anything about taxes. I can't tell you how many times I hear that. Had this couple, Heather, come in just recently. It just became clients. And their advisor is up in Ohio.
Okay.
And basically, in a nutshell, I deal in money. I don't deal in all those other things in retirement. Told them that, basically. And they said, well, we're going to look for another advisor. I think we have found one. Just wanted to let you know that. Okay, that's fine. Have a good day. It was so nonchalant.
Just so transactional.
And they're a solid client. Trust me. And it was so transactional. You need more than transaction in retirement. The problem is about 80, 90% are very transactional. No, we grow your money. That's all we do.
Well, that's what I mean, and I've heard, and I don't know the exact amount, but that's what a majority of financial advisors are. They are there for your growth years. And that's such, by the way, 336-586-5861 is our number. If you are hearing these things, if you're wanting to go ahead and put a January appointment on Bryan's calendar, give us a call, 336-586-5861, or go to gaiserfinancial.com. But that's one of the very important points to reiterate here on PTI is the difference between not only, one, are you a local guy? You're not in Ohio or California or New York. You're right here in the Piedmont Triad with offices in Greensboro, but also the difference of the work that you do at Gaiser Financial, because it's such a different financial game as far as our approach for retirement goes.
Right. Like you said, we're in Greensboro right here, Dolly Madison Road, right near Guilford College, off of Friendly. It is, you approach retirement like a coach, not just with one specialty. If I'm a quarterback, I think about being a quarterback and making things work. I don't think about what the defensive line is doing.
Right.
I don't think about what the linebacker. What a retirement specialist does, I think they think about their quarterbacks. They think about the linebackers. They think about the wide receivers. They think about the whole game, and then they place different. Like our team is almost like different coaches for each area. My back office, and they help us with our planning and running the numbers, what it'll look like if we hit these numbers or if we hit those numbers, whatever it may be. So it's a team effort, but we're more of a head coach, not a specialty coach. Right. A lot of the people are in accumulation phase and don't really think about retirement because they know they're going to work another 30 years, right? And that it just gets lost in the mix. And they think this person that they're dealing with is going to be the one that will take them through retirement. And they're not the right one. Okay. That's why 336-586-5861, 336-586-5861. We sat down, we take an hour and a half with you. And I promise you that first appointment, my number one goal is to figure out what your why is and then show you how to structure what you have and what you're doing, no matter what it is, to be sure that you can retire and achieve that why. Some people say, hey, I want to retire at 65, and they come in here and I got to give them bad news and say, hey, look, where you are and what you want to do, it just doesn't add up. You're going to have to work a little longer. Or you could retire today. and I say that's bad news, but it really isn't. It's finding out, this needs to happen for me to be able to live the retirement I want to live. Just tell me what that is.
Better to know I have to work another 2 years and then I'll have what I need versus just flying blind into retirement.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. I'm there to reveal things to you. I'm not there to tell you how it's going to be. I'm just going to be there to reveal, here's what will happen if you follow this course. Here's what happens if you follow this course. Mm-hmm. It really boils down to, don't you want to just know, what does it take for me to live the type of retirement I want? And that's what we do at Gaiser Financial Group. But it's a team. It's not just Byan Gaiser. It's a team effort. My office staff here in Greensboro, we have back office staff in Holland, Michigan, and Atlanta, Georgia. And we work with experts in different fields. And they help us along. And they tell us about the newest, latest, and greatest so that we are making sure that we're advising you right. They keep us on our toes. They make sure that we're giving you the information that makes them look good too. Yeah. So the bottom line is, folks, 336-586-5861. If you don't have that retirement specialist, if you're pretty certain that you're not covering all your bases, it takes about an hour and a half. We're right here in Greensboro, right at Friendly and Dolly Madison, on Dolly Madison Road, 445 Dolly Madison Road. Come on in. It's a nice, comfortable atmosphere. My most important task that day is to figure out who you are and what you want your retirement to look like, and then help you structure your overall situation so that you achieve that goal. Folks, 336-586-5861. Give us a call. Love to see you.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Through Wisdom podcast. To learn more, visit geiserfinancial.com. Bryan Gaiser is an investment advisor representative of Advisory Alpha LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. All opinions expressed by Bryan Gaiser are solely his own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Investment advisory and financial planning services offered through Advisory Alpha LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance, coaching, and educational services offered through Gaiser Financial Group. Gaiser Financial Group is a separate and unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. While tax and legal services may be discussed in the general course of financial and investment planning, Advisory Alpha does not provide tax or legal services. Please consult with your tax or legal professional prior to making decisions related to these issues. This material is not endorsed or approved by the Social Security Office or any other government agency. An annuity is a long-term financial product designed largely for asset accumulation and retirement needs. All guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. All opinions expressed by externally cited sources are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Advisory Alpha. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. The case studies presented reflects the specific circumstances of one client and should not be considered a guarantee that another client or potential client may experience the same or certain level of results. This is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as investment recommendations or solicitation. Names have been changed to protect the anonymity of clients and are not testimonials in nature.